All right, Knights of Apollo, what's up, guys? Hope you're doing well. And today we've got an extra special video. We are playing Burden of Command. This is a really fun turn-based strategy game set during World War II, but there's a lot of RPG elements into it. Hence the name Burden of Command. You lead a platoon of soldiers, and you're going to have to make tough decisions to achieve your goals or achieve the victory that is demanded of you. And we're going to be playing with the creator of this game, Luke, and he's going to be walking me through the basics. He's going to be sharing some historical insight that inspired the mechanics of the game. And let me tell you guys, the mechanics are extremely immersive. This is a very challenging game, and it's not like other turn-based strategy games such as XCOM. Here you actually use real-world tactics to overcome your enemy. So we talk about this in the video, but one major example of a unique mechanic is that you can't just run up to an enemy and shoot them and kill them. And the reason for that is because it's really difficult to kill your opponent, and oftentimes when you're getting shot at, well, you take cover and you hide, and that makes it even more difficult. So there's going to be a lot of suppression, a lot of flanking, a lot of attacking, a lot of charging, and you'll see exactly how that all plays out. Luke cares deeply about the time period. You'll see some really fun historical videos and reenactments that I think are just really charming and adds a lot to the game. If you guys love interesting mechanics, if you love the World War II era, this is going to be the game for you because you're going to learn a ton. You're going to have a very rewarding experience, and you're going to get emotionally attached to your officers, which unfortunately you're going to have to make tough decisions, which could lead to their deaths. So today we're going to be trying out the new DLC for Burden of Command called 3 Nations. We're actually doing a paratrooper mission where we go behind enemy lines during D-Day, the German lines. We have to take out very important objectives. It's going to be a lot of fun. I can go on forever about talking about this game and how interesting the mechanics are, but it's probably better that we jump in. I will say I move very slow in this video in terms of learning the game and the tactics. So think of this video more as a podcast because we're talking about history. We're talking about what, history inspired the mechanics in the game. So just sit back, relax, enjoy it. And definitely check out the game. It's linked down in the video description and see for yourself. Thanks for watching, guys, and enjoy the video. All right, guys, here we are with Luke, the creator of Burden of Command.
Hey, folks.
And we are about to jump into a paratrooper scenario. It sounds, the thing about with paratroopers is like you're jumping into the dark. You don't know what to expect, what's going to be around you. It's going to be a lot of fun to kind of figure out our surroundings and approach the strategy from there.
And in fact, both of us are going to suffer from that. I confess I'm a bad game lead. I have not actually played this scenario. We have a lot of playtesters and others. So we're both going to be stumbling around, but at least I can blame him this time.
That's right. I'll take the blame.
So it's all serious. Well, go ahead and make your point here.
Okay. Yeah, we'll go story mode just to ease into this.
So this is a DLC 3 Nations. We're going to play the U.S. paratroopers here, but we shift perspectives in the other ones. You get to play British paratroopers defending Pegasus Bridge. Some of you all may know about that. You get to play Germans trying to take that bridge back. And you even play a French mother deciding how much she'll try to help the French resistance in the days leading up to Pegasus Bridge. So 4 different perspectives on D-Day.
We had no idea where we were when we got the order to stand up and hook up. That came so quick we didn't have time to do much thinking before we were over the side and starting that 400-foot drop into France. Thousands of us.
Now, a little backstory before Paulo just takes over. So this is actually, it's a somewhat fictional scenario, but very historically based on what went on. It's based on some stuff that I'll explain later that Colonel John Antolf, that some of you may know and love, Brothers in Arms, back in the day, a pretty credible first-person shooter. And he was executive producer for it, and he was also senior advisor on our project. And he gave us some live-action videos you'll see in this, and we tried to construct a scenario around those as well as what happened around D-Day. All right, over to you, Paulo.
That's awesome. Yeah, I love that though. The little history videos and everything. I mean, clearly this game respects history, and it's like you're not only getting the enjoyment of the challenge of the game, but you're also learning new things and experiencing a small percentage of what it would be like to command men into such a dire situation.
Oh, would you, Paulo, indulge me, in fact, in that spirit of that, and mouse over like the book icon on the right? So this is sick. All right, you can see that I'm insane. We put lots of footnotes in a game. What the hell? Turns out they're very popular, right? Because you don't have to read these. But when you're saying, oh, please, did they really think that would have happened? I know better. We hope you feel that way. And then you pop one of these and say, oh my God, that really did happen. Because as we like to say in a team, history is always, history is stranger than fiction.
That's
So
right.
anyway, this is a leadership RPG. Go ahead, Apollo.
6th of June, 1944, midnight. Hello and welcome to Myers Hill. This scenario contains unique reenactment videos that come courtesy of Colonel John Antal, the executive producer for Brothers in Arms. While not Hollywood quality, it is nonetheless a privilege to offer them to you. Fire tears at the moonless sky, thunder booms, a gale rips at your harness. Your parachute snaps open above, the earth waits below. Jump boots crunch upon French soil with a hard thump. Private Lambert rushes over to help you out of the harness. There are only a handful of others nearby. Okay. This is interesting. So going into these, we have different choices. What is the outcome of this? Is this going to kind of customize your commander? Or?
Yeah, so this assumes a little bit like, you're coming into this and you've played the base game, which covers a U.S. infantry group, the Cottonbalers across Europe, but it's an RPG. So we take that seriously, meaning leaders vary, right? Like those you watch Band of Brothers, Lieutenant Spears, I think it'd be pretty fair to call him zealous, right?
Yes.
So you may remember him, maybe shot the German prisoners, crazy guy ran across in front of the Germans and to talk to the other guys and ran back. And you're like, what the hell? That's Mr. Zealous. So you can pick that. But guess what? The casualty rates might be a little higher, but your men will be very inspired while you survive. Doctrine. I wonder if we'd say, Captain Winters was Doctrine. Of course, Captain Winters was kind of godlike on everything, but he was probably a bit that. So you pick what kind of leader you think you would be. We call those mindsets, and as you might expect, it's a little bit like a very thin skill tree. It gives you certain abilities and so forth. So today, Paulo was telling me before we got started that, he's a role player. So I'm going to encourage him not to pick what he think will give him the best min-max, but what he feels like the kind of person he wants to be today.
I mean, outside of no training and no experience, I feel like in this situation, I would quietly gather my men.
Okay, you're obviously very doctrinaire. Here we are.
The men have trained for this, months and months of training. Now it will be put to the test.
So these are the skills you get over here. Let's glance at that by the book. So basically, this is quite nice. You can give them an extra order, which is basically action points for the game. And there's another one like that will get you back. Now, I don't know if the designers have let you have the full capacities, but we'll see how it goes. It'll show up in your actions if you get it. Go
okay.
ahead.
Yeah, I'll select this. A burst of gunfire, a pair of figures scatter off the nearby road, their distinctive coal-scuttled helmets visible in the flashes of their rifles. Sprouts. But your voice is the only one giving any orders.
So what are you going to do? I'm not going to help now. I want you to get the
burst of gunfire. Ooh. The drop went south? Is that... Okay. I'm going to say fire and flank. I feel like I got to be proactive here. A simple fire and flank.
And remember, there are wrong decisions.
I'm glad you said that right after
But I don't know. I don't know if that's wrong here, so we'll find out.
A simple fire and flank commences. The Germans are dispatched. The night rolls in again. Dawn breaks. Corporal Carter, a scout from battalion, makes contact. In a whisper, he relays new orders for your little band of soldiers. There is a German artillery piece close to a nearby farmhouse. That field piece must be taken out, preferably before an attack against the Chef du Point crossroad commences. There isn't much time.
Let me talk about, I went by fast, but on the left, you can see down to the bottom right. We do something unusual in games. You can see mission and men. So every game known to man, at least my experience, is kind of like mission, right? Go take the hill, conquer the 3 objectives, kill all the orcs, etc.
Yeah.
But in a real commander is actually is always under a core tension. Yeah, maybe it'd be great to please higher ups and get one more hill, but how many more of your men do you want to die? You may remember again in Band of Brothers when they're doing the canal crossing near the end of the war. They go out, they capture some German prisoners. It goes incredibly well. They come back, and then by God, the commander above Winters says, "Do it again." And Winters, who was like practically Quaker, right? He actually lies and says that they did it again because at this point he decided the men were more important than one more in his view. Dangerous thing to decide.
Right.
Pointless mission. So we put you in that feat. We give you both. You can win the mission and fail with the men, or win with men and fail with the mission. And the last thing I'll say, and as a game designer, we really wanted to encourage you sometimes to actually withdraw, which real commanders
Mm.
did. We have a lot of vets in the team, and they told us you never retreat, but you do withdraw sometimes. And so you might think, oh, I don't think I'm going to take that hill or these objectives. Maybe I'll withdraw now, and at least I can have a victory condition with the men. Of course, your higher ups may have some opinions about that.
I love that. That's that because that's so common in many historic. I think of instantly. I think of Gettysburg, the first night
Mm,
when the Confederates had an opportunity to push the Union off of
very good.
this hill, and it
Yeah,
was Lee who let the general to give the kind of the command, and he chose not to, and that could
very
have,
good.
yeah. So that's and maybe he felt like his soldiers were tired. They didn't have it in him.
They
But
deserved the rest, and
yeah.
maybe it was a good decision for the next day's fight. But in hindsight, maybe not.
Okay. So we've got some Germans in the road here.
And the flags over there are your objectives down there, so you're presumably going to want to grab those things.
Obviously, we want to take them out first and kind of go from there. We do have some good tree lines, some high ground up here. I assume these defensive positions probably have some troops in them.
It seems reasonable, but who the hell knows?
Yeah. I guess going over, like similar to other turn-based strategy games, you have things called action points. Here they're called commands, and they're
Yeah.
represented by the green circles here. When you move, it's a command. You use a command. When you fire, it also uses a command. I think I got to get a little bit closer because they're out of the field of view here. I can't quite reach
You've
them.
got one advantage, by the way, right now to alert you. You've got the eyes with the line through them on the right of their little bars. Right now, you think, it's not guaranteed, but you think they don't know you're there. So,
Mm,
and like in real war, like the games you play, if you can surprise them with your attack, they didn't know you were going to make an attack. That's a big advantage. But,
right.
on the other hand, maybe that wastes time going too carefully. So, again, I leave it to you.
I want to avoid the roads. I don't want to go around here, obviously. So I'm gonna just kind of get a little closer. So I'm gonna go ahead and just move. I'm gonna move both with the commander.
Keep up!
So they're in a structure.
That's
Mm,
not good.
no.
Now you don't see them, right? So I guess you had a line of sight on them before.
Oh, did I?
You know,
Okay.
I didn't realize that. So it was actually giving you a break. You could have probably opened fire, but you're not doing anything wrong. But now you
Right.
don't see them, right? So you were seeing them and they weren't seeing you. Now you don't see them, but you know they're there.
I'm gonna just keep. I wonder what is their vision. Can they see me advance through the tree? Okay.
Now you're using an order to every time you do that, you could control right click to sort of do more at once and waypoint.
Right.
You've got nice paratroopers, so they can do it a lot, but every time you do a move, whether it's 1 hex or 3 hexes, it's going to use an order and you can see the gray dots appearing. So just
Right.
be aware of your action economy. Now you should assume what you would assume in the real world. Hey, if I'm in heavy trees, I have a decent chance not to be seen. On the other hand, like if you're thinking of moving next to them, you are moving, which is never good for not being seen, and you're getting adjacent. So, frankly, there's a pretty good chance they'll spot you, but it's not guaranteed. You could be cute and creep. There's a creep command below.
Oh yeah, I see it right here.
Oh,
Creep. It's disabled. I
you've
don't have
now,
enough
unfortunately,
orders.
because you need 2 orders for that, and you're down on your infantry squad to 1 order. So
Okay.
next time if you want to, but you can't do it here. Now they are prone to warn you now. If you get to the next hex, you're going to be out of orders for that guy, which is slightly unpleasant situation to be in. But you could press him if you remember that mechanic, to fix it.
Yeah, so I do have a machine gun squad, right?
Yep.
So
Yep.
but I can't reach them.
Yeah, you can move into line of sight, maybe.
Yeah, I could try to move a
Now
little
you
bit
want to guess line of sight, just left click on any hex and it'll give you line of sight. Left click on any hex. So
Okay.
you can see what that building sees, for example.
Right.
Looks like if you went one more over, they could see it and you could see them.
Well, I mean, I think I'm gonna, because I think more or less, I think the machine gun's gonna be the anvil. They're gonna kind of keep them occupied while the light infantry moves in as the hammer. So I'm gonna
suppress and assault. Yeah, you're doing it
Yeah.
by the book now. That's good. Was I wrong? Ha ha ha. I think I was wrong. I misread it. What a surprise. Go one more. We'll still get the point across. You should
Okay.
be able to see when you go one more down.
There we go.
Okay. I know what's wrong. It's because you see no target. I'm being stupid. I am a little rusty. Pick recon by fire.
Yes. So recon by fire. You
Yeah,
use this if you know there's an enemy but you don't quite see them. So this is just gonna pull them out.
You're more up to speed than me.
So there we go.
All right. So you're working them over. Ah.
Oh, look at this.
This is one of John Ansell's videos, live actors.
Go!
So he originally intended this for a DVD video, interactive DVD video, if anybody remembers those, that never got released, and he gave us rights to use it.
Shots ring out, the enemy falls, your men advance. And after making sure the Germans aren't faking, Corporal Carter pulls forth a prize. It's a map, he says, in disbelief between sharp breaths as the paper is revealed. Oh, that's convenient. That's very convenient.
Now that's actually Alan, our writer. Looks like that he didn't expect you to support the machine gun. Expected you to assault. So you actually still have to deal with the Germans, but their red bar there, that means they're highly suppressed. Meaning you basically, if you can get up and assault them, they're going to collapse.
So that's huge. That's a huge aspect of the game is looking at the status of the units. There's green, yellow, and red. Yeah. So red symbolizes that they're in a bad spot. They're suppressed. They're not really going to be able to do anything effectively. Yellow is kind of in between where they could potentially fire back, but it wouldn't be as effective as if they were green.
They're also facing away from you, so that
is nice.
Kind. They're letting you screw these guys pretty bad. So see if you can assault the K down there, the little.
Oh, this one, yeah.
Bolster.
Oh, right. Bolster, explain. So I remember you in the tutorial, they said bolster's not a rally.
Bolster is like a buff. So
Right.
it buffs you in like every regard. It'll give you and your men more movement points. It will make their morale points, their morale better. And they will likely, they'll do assaults, they'll fight better, and they'll shoot better if you stay with them. Basically, it's pump them up, right? Bolster. And it's probably the most useful thing you can do moment to moment, but it's only for the next action rather than all time. So try a bolster here, I would suggest.
Yeah, let's
and that should give us enough movement points. There you go. Yeah, it's predicting
this war won't win itself.
Great. All right, now try to assault.
Now we can switch to assault.
Do you want me to give the speech on, most games? Oh, well, let's do this thing.
What do you got?
The Kuba-Wagen. My German is not good. Rattles off. Soon only the stink of foul gas remains, along with 2 German sentries. Corporal Carter pats his bayonet. There is dried blood on the sheath. He too had been busy during the night, and a bayonet would be one way to deal with the enemy, a dangerous but quiet way.
But you've already achieved it.
Yes.
So you're about to see. Oh, we get another one. We're doing well in videos.
Ready? Go.
So this is the actual assault, looks like to me. Imagine doing that for real. The History Underground channel, by the way, is a friend of ours. He shows off. He went around a lot of the sites for D-Day and so forth. You can watch some of these to see some of the real. Oh, well, there we go. Real places they fought. Knowing
Wow.
John Anton, I'm sure this is one of the places. The map.
Looks like they've got.
Ah,
Right, the knives do their bloody work, and afterwards, it's a map, Corporal Carter says in disbelief between sharp breaths. A map the Germans ever organized left a map so their sentries wouldn't get lost if they had to evacuate. God, what a prize, Corporal Carter says with absent strokes. He cleans his knife off the dead Kraut's shirt. Their observation post there, probably just 2 men with a radio. The artillery probably has a security squad with them, and that means an MG-42. So the artillery could be a tough target. The observation post would be easier, but...
so what you gonna do? Yeah.
So one would go for the artillery, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Well, I mean, you're telling your men, so I'm not sure what they're gonna do with that.
Okay. He's right. The Germans will have security at the artillery. Either way, we'll have to act fast.
In other words, they're saying, yeah, you probably need to move in that right away. Every game known to man does normally shoot to kill, right? Bang, 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 you're dead. Now, it's a wonderful mechanic. I love XCOM like everybody else, right? You shoot at them the right way, you shoot from the flank, they're dead. But from what we've read, and we've had a lot of experts advise us, it wasn't not that way in World War II. In small arms fire, it was 30 to 40,000 bullets before you even got a casualty. Didn't say KIA, casualty. Why? Well, think of yourself. I pull out a gun and I'm going to shoot at you, and you're near a wall. I'm gonna make a prediction. What would you do, Apollo, if somebody's shooting at you and there's a wall nearby? Let's see what Apollo would do.
I would hide behind the wall.
Genius, like the rest of us. Now, strangely enough, bullets don't go through stone walls. Now, I know the more expert are on things like artillery, and I agree that's much more effective in this context. But normally, from what we've read, people did not stand up and surrender without you approaching them, because then they might get shot again. Now, they might run away. We do less of that because it just makes the game a little tedious as you chase them across. But basically, in World War II, you had to do the 4Fs. You had to fix them, find them, which he did, fix them, which means hit them with a machine gun, very textbook there, so they're suppressed. Then ideally you flank them, but you didn't need to. These guys were already a mess. And you finish them off, you assault. And then typically they would either surrender or flee, because here's another intuition. Most of us don't like bayonets in the stomach. So in practice, all those sexy, exciting melee combats weren't so common, even though we like to think from a drama standpoint they were.
That is really fast. It really changes that in mind. Knowing that, it completely changes your tactics or how you approach this game. Where, I could have easily just charge directly at them, just shoot at them and win,
Exactly.
Here it's very much like positioning, flanking, and it's really cool to see that actually play out. So here we go. We got an observer, and then we've got the artillery. So obviously the observer is helping the artillery.
Yes.
So I
Very
think
good.
it would probably be better to take out them first.
That seems sensible because they're right there. Plus, you got a lot of. Don't they go on and run across all that open in front of whatever they've got
That's
there?
right. You don't want to stay on the road. Yeah.
Yeah, let me say one more fun tactical
Yes.
thing. So, when did casualties occur? From what, again, I'm happy if any of your fans want to post in the forums and debate with me. I'm happy to come back on it because it's a fun topic. I'm not saying I'm right. I just want to give you my view, but it's not coming out of nowhere. It's coming from some of our advisors. When did casualties occur? When you got surprised in the open. That's the worst possible thing, because of course you're standing upright, not taking advantage of any cover. Pretty good way to get killed. And moving, of course, which tends to imply you've got to be upright unless you're crawling. So something like wandering down that road there in the open is begging to actually take real casualties as opposed to just get suppressed.
It's the most obvious path, too.
Yeah, well, the Germans are thinking about your most obvious path, too. You can count on it, especially with some of our scenario designers. Oh, one more story, and then I will shut up. So in early playtesting, we had a lot of role-playing playtesters who were not war gamers or anything like it. They like XCOMs and RPGs and things. And they set off down the road in their tanks in one of our historical scenarios, and their tank got blown up by mines. And they were like, hey, this is totally unfair. And we were like, you're right. It is totally unfair, and the Germans intend for it to be totally unfair. But from a game design, that kind of sucks. So if we just like, ha ha, look, we caught you, you got your tank blown up, we took those as teaching moments. So Sergeant Grant, who's the key advisor, would come over and say, that sucks, sir, doesn't it? I guess these Krauts are always sitting up on the roads with these tanks. I guess we'll have to go more off the road. So like a real infantry commander who might have come from a little town in Illinois, you got to learn a lot on the job. And I got to make sure I let Apollo learn some things on the job. I'm helping him too much, damn it.
Hey, I don't mind the help at all. Okay, so yeah, we'll end the turn and we'll prepare our assault against this position. Uh-oh.
Oh my God. Whoa, I wasn't expecting that.
Corporal Steve holds up a hand and cups the receiver of his headset closed. Battalion calling, Sarge. They want you to know about the artillery. We know where it's at, or it is. Oh, jeez. You have the map, you know where to go. Battalion will have to trust you. A steady rat-a-tat of an American 30 cal across the river is answered back by a short burst of an MG42. The attack has begun.
Very important. So, paratroopers, especially people who have ever played this game before, are different. So they have every platoon will have a mortar, ideally, but it's only one little tube. But that's unusual, as opposed to maybe a rifle company might have one dedicated mortar group. But get a lot of that. Very important for you if you run into any armor. The bazooka anti-tank capacity is in the leader, which is just an abstraction. I won't bore you with the details unless somebody wants it. But if you do end up with any vehicles, remember that's where your anti-tank capacity is. I also think we gave them, it's been a while since I did all this, gave them 2 machine guns, or no, they have a medium machine gun, quite a nice one. So they pack a pretty good punch. Okay, so we try and do a little command and control, right? Meaning every turn we call it a player round, not a game turn. You've got to decide who's in command. So when you pick one of these LTs, one of these lieutenants, then he and his, like you can see on the second platoon over there, are up at bat, right? They're going to move for this round, and you can't normally move other platoons in their round unless you use a captain, which we'll get to if we need to. But short version is, it's kind of making interesting decisions for you in the Sid Meier sense, right? You can't do everything at once. What are you going to pick? And unfortunately, when you finish getting second platoon organized, gives the Germans a player round, leadership round, decide what they'll do with their platoons. So Apollo has a decision here, right? He can continue what he's doing up north, but maybe he should be bringing in essentially these reinforcements from southeast, or maybe one of the other groups, right? So he's making a who's in charge decision now for this round.
I mean, I feel like taking out the artillery is priority.
You're thinner over there, but you're not pathetic, right? And hopefully you've got time. Though, oh, look at all the question mark gray shadow Germans. Oh, interesting. Oh, yeah. Okay. It's not so trivial now. I bet some of your players are like, oh, this is going to be a walkover. Okay, yeah. Good luck, Paulo. I'm glad you're making decisions right now. I think I'll let him decide what to do.
Yeah, that's why it's not called the joys of command. It's the, the burden of command. No, yeah. So we've got. This looks like a commander here, lieutenant.
He looks like one of the leaders escaped. He's not a big threat.
No.
He might shoot you with his pistol. You could whack him, but maybe that's a distraction. I don't know. What are you going to do?
Yeah, so we could hit them with artillery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can see them and call your mortars.
I think we should, actually. I think we should. So I'm going to go ahead and call in.
I wasn't going to say anything, but that's a good call, right? Artillery's pretty effective.
They got the high ground. Yeah.
Guys. That's what I would have done.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and hit these. Here we
Good
go.
one. I'm glad you noticed that.
Okay.
Oh, that's a cool mechanic. I can't resist again. I'm geeking out here.
No, please.
Undaunted. So actually, paratroopers in Bridge Too Far, they had to cross this river, the wall, during that operation. Great movie, by the way. And they weren't fitting my combat model, which is they were taking all kinds of fire from Germans, but these bastards kept running, right? They wouldn't go to ground. Yet my combat model said, oh, you're getting fired on, suppress. And so I reread a book by this Medal of Honor 82nd guy, and he said, we were so angry, with probably a lot more curse words than I'm using right now, so angry at the Germans for the friends they killed, and I make no apologies, I wanted to kill Germans to win the war, and I wanted to kill them. So I just wanted to get across that field and kill the bastards. So I realized that there was this, elite quality to them, this manifest of rage, right, which is elite troops, which I guess these guys are experienced up there, they will resist your suppression at a certain stage, and that's to your benefit too with your U.S. paratroopers. You see the stars on their banners. These are very elite units, as we would hope they would be. They're going to tend to do Undana too, meaning they'll take some suppression, but not full. They'll typically stay sort of light green or yellow. So these guys are not trivial dudes, but they're only a machine gun team if you can get up there and whack them.
I mean, we could just hit him with
You
them.
could hit him again, I suppose. I don't know, but watch your orders. Make sure you have enough action points before you burn it all up.
Yeah, we got 3, so it takes.
It's one order. Yeah, I'd hit him one more time.
Yeah.
Now this is a single tube 60 millimeter mortar, so that's another reason you're not doing a lot, because it's nice you have it, but they're not tons of them. So you beat them up, but unfortunately these guys are not going to let you beat them up too much. Yeah, they're tough. So what you've done is you position your machine gun nicely, but this is not an assault group. So you could hit them with a machine gun, but do not try to assault with machine guns.
I should move up.
You could bring up the other guy. Just count your orders and make sure you're going to end up with enough.
So I got 2 more. I could bolster and then fire.
You already did bolster, I think.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Right now.
Okay, so
Just
yeah.
If you want. Ah, flanked.
There we
Surprise.
go. The sigh of relief when a video pops up.
Go.
All right, the Germans are
Very
taken by surprise.
Very nice. Good for you, man. Okay, now I bet them around. Oh, look at that.
Yes. Now.
Well done. Well done.
So now we want to move up the assaults, but
now
they
this will use up your last officer order to get them going. Every time you order a unit, your officer uses up one of his commands, right? Because this is a leadership game. It's always about the leaders. So you'll be able to use the squad the rest of the time, but you won't have any more orders for your leader, which is fine. You might be able to pull it off.
I do want to deal with this officer over here.
Good.
So I think I'm gonna advance a little bit here and then fire. I'm gonna just go all the way.
You're going into good cover there. I think you're okay with
Yeah,
that.
especially against an officer.
Exactly. You're going to win this one unless something freaky happens.
And then I'm gonna open fire.
Okay, he's a mess.
There you have it.
I got a little experience there.
Yeah, and I can even keep pushing forward and take him out, take him prisoner. I will be slightly in the open in the road, but that's war.
Let's hope the machine gun doesn't have a leader with them and rally them. All right, yeah. No surprise.
That's right.
You're good at taking out single guys that you beat up with a lot of rifle fire.
Yes. Yeah.
But good. You don't want him messing around. You don't want him going and helping that machine gun crew. That will not be cool.
So that is an important aspect to note, is that if there's a leader, a commander nearby, he can rally a suppressed unit to get them out of that state.
Exactly.
So that's something to look out for when you're assaulting.
Orange. The orange hexes. Orange hexes mean that you know that some unit can fire on that. Probably in the machine gun. I'd have to look at it. But so those are known dangerous hexes. So wherever you're going, probably don't go to orange hexes.
Right, and that's a morale check.
That means first your squad will think, do I want to do this? But these are elite paratroopers. They're going to do whatever you want. But you may get fired on. But it may just be from the pathetic machine gun, so you might be fine. That looks safe, in theory.
So I can't reach them. They're too far.
Can't reach it. I'll move up.
Yeah, so I'll just go to the tree line here.
You'll be in a good position for next time. Ooh.
There it is. Okay, what do you want to do?
All right, the enemy is over there, ready. Unless they are all focused on firing, unlikely some of them will be waiting for you.
Okay, so you're right there. So now if you had a press with a leader there, you could give them our command and they could... Oh, looks like they still have an order. Awesome.
Oh, they do. So I can go.
Fantastic.
All right.
Do it.
There we go. Charge in. Bayonets.
And you're flanking them. People hate to be flanked.
So the assault goes in, gunfire screams, then silence. The elevated position with a clear view of the crossroads is yours.
Very nice. Good job,
All
man.
right, hey, there's a team effort right there. So that is that commander spent. Like they have done
Yep.
absolutely everything. So
Yep.
now I got to go
Looks
to.
good, though.
Yeah, that was great. Now we got to end the turn. Okay, so now
All
we've
right.
got the tricky situation of crossing this river. There's 3 different
Mm,
paths.
yeah, I noticed that yet.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and move forward. I'm gonna lead with my lieutenant, and
There you
just
go. That looks pretty safe from line of sight.
yeah, it looks pretty good. I can just keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Now remember, you may want to save orders to help your other men get forward, right?
that's
Rather
right.
than you just
That's
being out
right.
by yourself there.
I'm gonna go ahead. I don't want to stay. I'm gonna avoid the road, so I'm gonna stay on this
Sure.
side. Oh well, they're like, well, we're gonna take the
No,
road.
that just used an order. It's telling you that you spend an order to make him active. Now he can move on his own. He's got 2 more orders, so
Right,
you can do
right,
whatever you want.
right. So as the lieutenant needs to spend an order to activate it, and then once they do that, they can move. Okay.
Right. So you activate units by basically giving an order. Hey, go take that hill. And then after that, they'll do their own thing insofar as they
Like
have
the
orders.
sub. Yeah, the sub.
Orders,
Okay.
I mean the green circles.
Yep. I'm gonna go to
And
his
you don't have to
flank.
use them all up at once. You can go and move some other units and then come back, right? Just proceed however seems sensible to you.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow up with the mortar. Now the mortar
Yeah.
takes 2, right? 2 commands.
Very good. You've
Yep.
been doing your boot camp. It
Oh.
sucks to move them. And normally, if you weren't elite paratroopers, they wouldn't fire this round. But these guys have 3 orders. In the starting game, you only have 2. So they can actually move up and fire again because these are just gung-ho dudes.
Oh, nice. Yeah, so I'm gonna get them as close as possible because right now it feels pretty safe.
Remember, you've got troops who are going to do what you want, and you may get them killed, but these are really high-quality troops, unlike the Cottonbalers you've been boot camping. They're
Right,
learning.
right. That's probably why I'm a little hesitant. All right,
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep moving forward. I'm just gonna spearhead with this unit.
Good.
And nothing. Okay, this is
Cool.
good. Okay, well I can move him forward again. I guess I'll just
Yep.
keep getting just because time is important here and
Right.
trying to advance on the enemy position.
Remember, if you want to move faster, you could bolster, but it's going to cost you another order.
So I think
Not
that's
part of
about
it.
it. So I'm gonna see what the Germans do here.
I suspect, second line troops in the back, they can be pretty passive, but who knows?
Okay, I'm gonna stay with the trees here. I'm gonna move
Mm-hmm.
the lieutenant, and I'm gonna have someone flank him.
And as you emphasize, remember, this is D-Day, the invasion's getting ready to happen, and time is of the essence, so you really do want to keep pressing forward, right? I would
Right.
think.
Yes. Yes. You can't be too cautious here because this is all.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
Because people are depending on you.
So bolster. I might bolster in.
Yeah, try that.
Yeah, why not?
We're trying to teach you something. So bolster the hex you're in.
Come
There
on!
you go.
And then we.
Now this
Wow. Okay,
Yeah.
that is.
Yeah, bit
Yeah.
better.
Yeah, a lot better. I'm gonna go for it.
Go for it.
I'm gonna set some waypoints though. We hit
Control right click.
control, yeah, and
There you go, you
just
can see the
kind of
little
take
flag. Look at you, Mr.
Yeah,
Sophisticated. Wow.
So this way,
Come on,
because
go down the road. Good.
Go!
a little risk crossing that road, but
You did it. You did it.
hey,
Good
there's,
move.
look at that. It's
You made it.
still nice and safe
Now what are you
here.
gonna do?
Well, I'm gonna keep moving everybody else up.
Yeah.
I don't want to go in this road though, but it would make it much faster. But there's like nothing here yet, so
Seems like there's nothing. there.
yeah, seems like it. I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, you'll find out.
All right,
Yeah, there you go.
we can just keep going, and then let's get the mortars closer. Oh wait, they can't move.
They already
Oh,
get
yeah,
used.
yeah, that's right. Oh, and this is our captain.
Basically, the captain's your sort of your queen in the chess sense. He can be used any turn, right? So normally I told you, right, only second platoon, it's only second platoon's round. But the captain will allow you to take charge of any unit from some other platoon. There's a little button that will be shown there called Take Command. Basically, the captain's giving you the capacity to say, while I'm doing second platoon, I'll actually move one of the units of first platoon. Plus, he's usually much better in various ways. So if he does a bolster or he does a fire command, he'll be better. But his most critical use is to allow you to get more done. And let me put it simply. The captain's virtue is to coordinate your different platoons, as you would hope would be the captain's role, right? By allowing first platoon to move, do the captain, while you're doing second platoon, which might be really key in a certain situation.
Right, right. So I'm gonna go. Oh, I guess. Well, we can move him now, so we
You
don't
can
necessarily.
always do anytime you can do anything you want with the
Yeah,
captain.
yeah.
So he himself also can be used at any time.
Okay, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and just
Keep
move
up with
him.
the men.
Yeah, just move him up.
Or they might think that maybe you're just letting them take all the risks.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not a fan of this guy.
And the core game for your fans, it's role playing. So you start as lieutenant, and if you do well, you'll move up as a captain, and your men will improve. Like any RPG, they'll improve in abilities. But you'll start green and pathetic, unlike these elite guys. And you're hoping by 1944, 1945, you start to resemble these kind of guys. But we're kind of getting to play the creme de la creme right away in this scenario.
Yes, yeah, and that's the fun RPG aspect of the game
Yes.
is getting like building backstory and maybe you have a lieutenant that held off an epic flank and he's kind of known for
Exactly.
that.
But death is permanent. So, and we encourage players to not
Yes.
save scum, meaning you get your leader killed or you, the game will not end. Because, companies didn't cease to exist when their leaders died. A replacement leader will come in, often an interesting character. You can die. And you might hear comments from your lieutenants, if you're captain, about what you were in your past life, right? I mean, to the new captain,
That's
which is
cool.
interesting. So we strongly encourage people to not reload. In fact, we're kind of like XCOM that way, our Darkest Dungeon. We don't really give you much than the prior leader round because we want you, like the real commanders, to live with mistakes. If people died because of your decisions. So what we see in the feedback, look at the reviews, is like, I really was hesitant about that, but the game encouraged me not to save scum, and now I feel like I own everything. The mistakes, the victories, they're really my decisions rather than I just min-max the game.
And I love that. I love that so much because when I play Total War, I love treating my generals and even the men of the units. I want
Right.
everyone to live, but that's just not an option.
Not going to happen.
Yeah, and
Typically, we see most players lose about 3 of their leaders if they do pretty well across the war. And then they write stories about them later, right? When they died, how, and so forth. That they get so emotionally bonded, which is our whole goal.
yes, I think that's awesome. Could I bolster this unit to get them to go a little?
To bolster, you must be with the unit to bolster it.
Oh, I must be within it. Okay, so I could just put in.
What you mean here? This unit is spent. You want to press it.
Oh,
so they get
press
to
it.
their
Yes,
order.
yes.
It's the lightning bolt.
Right.
But you can only do this once until they rest again. So this is like another buff, right? Hey, this unit was dead, spent, but I'm going to move your mouse away from them so they can see the gray. Right, see it's gray, spent.
Right.
But if you press it, suddenly it's got an order again. But you may regret doing it now because maybe you really would have liked that when you discovered the nasty German nest.
That's right.
But
you need to make a move.
Skip them later and they can rest. But this is a freebie, but it's a one-time freebie. Also, you're down to 1 order. So if you do this, you'll bolster them and they can move, but ironically, you won't be able to move because you used up all your orders. So just if you do press them here, all that'll happen is that squad will go and you won't.
Yeah, I think. Well, I guess just to show what it does, I'll just do it.
And think of the
File a
captains
complaint
moving
to
around and getting
Hitler.
them going, right?
On your feet.
That's
Very
great.
good. I like that. All right, that was a good one.
So now that we have used up every general's commands, now it's officially this is the end of the turn. So now
exactly. Germans get to think. We continue doing that.
All right, we got battalion calling. Corporal Steve pauses once again. Battalion.
No
Battalion calling in, Sarge. They really want to know about that enemy artillery. We can't get to it. We're in motion. Not all roses. I say we're in motion. We're getting it. We're gonna get it.
Yeah, that sounds a little better.
Yeah. Corporal Steve passes along the message and then terminates the call. Time to finish up.
Think of those landing craft that are heading towards the shore. You got to take that artillery out.
All right, so I think we got to take out that artillery. The question is, though, what's waiting in the tree line? Because surely they wouldn't leave artillery undefended, but I guess that's something we got to figure out. I think I'm going to move my lieutenant with the assault squad and push this way. I might go up kind of the way we went down and approach this.
It all depends how much risk you want to take versus time.
So, yeah, well, I'll link up with this squad.
Yep.
And I'm going to go ahead.
Never bolster if you want to move faster.
Oh, right. Oh, my gosh.
Hustle up.
Okay. Well, we can still do that. So I'm going to go ahead and bolster.
They're counting on us.
They are. It's true.
All
I
right.
mean, they are. So
Dude, you heard, man. They're counting on you. Don't screw up here.
yeah, this is risky though, because sure I can move in faster, but what am I getting into? So gonna go for it.
Lace up and let's go.
Come on, come on, come on, come on. Okay.
Revealed. Somebody saw you. That's
oh
bad.
no.
We don't know where they are, but somebody saw you for a moment. Then,
Oh.
you know what I think happened? While you were moving, somebody spotted you, and then you went back into cover.
Okay,
So there's something around there.
well, we could move up one more.
Yeah.
So we'll just go ahead and do that. And still
Got away with
nothing.
it. Oh, is there something there? No, nothing there. Okay.
I might
Alright,
move
good.
up the machine.
Got away with it.
Or oh, we can't because we don't have. Wait.
You used up all. Now, see, you focus on moving that guy so aggressively. You used up all your command and control orders for your lieutenant, which is natural. But right, his job is not only to support that move up, but to get your platoon moving. Unfortunately, now you're spent.
Okay. Could I use the command, Captain?
Very good.
Yeah.
I should have said that. Use the take command. The captain can save your ass here.
There we go. And
Exactly.
I think I'm just gonna
So
move.
the captain spent an order, but now you get to move this machine gun because your lieutenant was so busy moving up.
So I think I'm just gonna move them one over because they
Fair
still
enough.
have the high ground. They got cover, and potentially could support. Though this is a thick tree line, so
Yeah, you probably won't see through the other than the front of those trees.
because I don't want to get stuck in the road here, especially
Yeah,
if there's an MG here. So,
Yeah, you wonder.
so I'm just gonna post up here. I could fire. I don't know if that would make sense. Why would I do
You can
that?
come by far if you want. Now they're behind. They look like they've got a fence there or something. Or
Yeah,
a
they got
entrenchment, so
sandbags. Or,
You're gonna be limited what you can do, but still, you're a machine gun with a good quality crew.
yeah, I'll just.
Maybe you'll find out what's there too.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, and I got an achievement.
Nothing there. Oh, they're firing back.
Ooh.
You took one suppression. You can handle that. Just keep at it. Let's see what they do. Oh, they're red, dude.
Wow.
Nice.
Look
Well,
at
they were
that.
pathetic. One of the two. So your captain activated this guy, and now the unit's just using his own orders. So basically, your captain translated one of his orders into 3 orders for the machine gun.
So I just leave them now, and I can just move on to the next. I guess we'll
Yeah,
let the
exactly.
Germans
Yeah.
see what happens here. Oh, that's what I was afraid of. Oh no!
Oh my God! They're coming from the. Oh my God! I did not know there were some over there coming. Oh, now that makes it more interesting.
Okay.
Oh my God! And on the hill too.
Wow. Hey, that's
Wow.
the chaos of parachuting into
Oh.
enemy lines.
Oh, good for you. All right, Kurt. The scenario designer for this is actually he worked for one of the Army Research Center, Kurt Myers, and he's a game designer himself. So he would help the U.S. military set up exercises and small sober games, using miniatures or boards or so forth. So he's a quite sophisticated guy, and he was a U.S. Army medic. I hope I got it all correct there, Kurt.
So now it's time.
Okay, things are a little more complicated now.
Yeah, so now we got the machine guns. They're sandwiched.
Yes. Exactly.
Now our lieutenant has to make the choice of do we go back and help or do we finish the job and take out the artillery?
Yes, exactly. So,
So-
you're doing a great job articulating. We're always trying to put you in these tensions. Like, I want to do both these things, but I can only do one.
Right, and that's where the burden of command comes
Good.
in.
I was hoping you'd say it.
Yeah. Okay, so but we can't do anything over there anyways until the next turn. So we're gonna go,
Exactly.
and I think we've got to get hyper aggressive here because of the danger of
makes
the.
sense.
So I'm going to go ahead and
Consider
use.
pressing.
Yeah, I'm gonna bolster
Good,
That's
I
the
meant
way.
press. Sorry, not press.
and
Yeah. Oh, good. You can get up there.
yeah, but what's in that house? Let's hope
All right. Hope
it's a
nothing.
maiden and not. I'm gonna actually push really aggressive. I'm gonna go to this.
Yeah.
Go
You're
right here.
paratroopers, man.
Yeah.
Let's go.
All right.
Good. You
that's-
got away with it, looks like. Very
that's-
good. Nothing in that house, I guess.
Okay, but this is in
Something
view.
can shoot at that. Something can shoot at that.
Okay. So now, because we're getting close to these MG positions, we need to get the mortars up there.
You could creep in here. You could mortar, which is very good instinct, by the way. Soften up the positions.
Right.
But somebody has to see it, right? So the mortar
right.
can't fire blind. You need a spotter. So some lieutenant who has rights to use his mortar, which this guy has his own mortar, if he sees, like he could crawl up there, basically, spot the positions and call the mortar in. Just remember, this is a weak It's not, you know, a 105 millimeter killer artillery piece. This is a
Right.
little grenade thrower, basically.
Right.
One tube, 60 millimeter. It'll help, but don't expect it to fix all your problems.
Okay, so I'm thinking now that I'm looking at this, the trees kind of creep forward themselves here. This could get us a
Mm.
little bit closer with cover. So
Mm.
I might take this battalion across
Mm.
the road. The only thing is they could be watching.
You can click on their position so you can see their line of sight. And that'll tell you their line of
Ooh,
sight.
okay. So we
now
can
you know where
actually
they can
cut.
fire.
Well, so they can see, yeah, they can see really far.
And
The-
I want to compliment Apollo here, though I understand his audience likes to see him have trouble. But he is doing something smart here. Rather than just press forward, oh, I'll just send my hero and kill everything. No, you need to organize an assault, right? So he's thinking, I need to get my other guys up. Because as we just saw, right, you thought you had a simple situation. Suddenly you have all these extra Germans. So it can go very badly if you're rushing along and you uncover a nest, or guess what? They've called for reinforcements. So organizing an attack is what real commanders did, and he's starting to do that here.
yeah, yeah, and not. I think I have the personally. I have the issue of getting tunnel vision, hence I raced forward this unit.
Natural.
But then this, you know, the beauty of this game just shows that, like, well, if you do that too much, you're gonna get caught. I think I'm gonna just hold. I'm curious. I've actually never used the creep.
Yeah, this might be a good thing. Costs 2 orders, which is expensive, but you are unlikely, especially going to cover here, to be seen. So it's what you think it is, right? You're going to sneak up. Probably won't be seen. It's not 100%, but very likely.
Machine gun!
Ah, you spotted them. See?
They did see
Oh
us.
my
though.
God! Bad luck. After all
Oh,
that,
no!
it didn't work out. You got hit, 2 casualties. Of course, creep the first time didn't work. But I will say another thing. So this is not Slay the Spire, right? In war, lots of things don't go the way they should, and we all know how much we hate in XCOM. 90% chance and you failed. That was a 90% chance and you failed.
Yeah.
Right. But
So,
hey, it's war. Snafu is normal.
There was someone with 20/20 vision over there in that nest who just happened to be looking at the right spot at the right time.
Bad luck.
Yeah.
Should have worked. But you didn't get whacked as badly as you would have because you were creeping. So even though you did get hit, well, you took 2 casualties actually, but it could have been worse. So that was pretty bad.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. But that's the risk I took, and it failed. I can't move the squad because the commander's out, right? So you need a okay.
You could take command him using the captain.
Oh, that's true. And I definitely want to get more support up there.
Yeah,
so.
he's a little out there by himself. If you had a really aggressive German, they might come up and get you while
That's
you're
right.
not organized.
So I'm gonna go ahead and just.
And the AI is more aggressive in this DLC, though it depends on the scenario. This scenario, I suspect they won't be as much, but who the hell knows? Kirk can be nasty.
I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of set up on the flank here.
Good. You're organizing your platoon.
And I'm just gonna leave them there with the one command point.
And what you're doing is you're keeping your men near your leader, right? In case he needs to rally or bolster or, help them move, etc.
I might even use my captain again. Move this mortar forward.
Yep.
Just so they can support if needed.
They've got pretty good range, but they are 60 millimeter. But then when they have direct sight, they can do it. But as long as you've got a spotter, you'll be able to use them. Oh, they could probably reach across the map. A mortar is indirect fire, which is a fancy way of saying it fires in an arc up into the air and lands. That's why they can be indirect. I mean, that's why they can be inaccurate. The point is, if your spotter tells the mortar, fire to this position, he'll signal with the mortar, oh, you missed a little bit, close in a little bit here.
Right.
Zero in on the target. So the mortar does not need to see the target. The spotter does.
The spotter does. And it gives them...
So you can leave it way back behind the whole game and probably be fine.
Okay. But if being closer to said target, does that increase the accuracy or no?
Not particularly, no.
Okay.
So really, it's not going to gain you much. The only thing would be that it could spot for itself. But on the other hand, then other things can probably see it. And you really don't want people seeing your mortar.
No, that is for sure. Okay, let me just go ahead and end the turn, see what the Germans do.
They did do something last time. They weren't as passive as I predicted. We saw some guys, come up.
Yeah, that is not good. All right, so let's now move.
That's your captain, remember?
Oh, that's my captain. That's right. Okay.
Easy
This is the lieutenant. Yep.
There we go.
So we move him.
It looked like he does have a mortar. So get him, if you want to do that, Get him where he can find a square that has line of sight to the guys you want to hit.
Okay. Because right now he can only see this.
Right. So click on a hex you think you could move to that you think could have a view. Better idea. Click on them. Click on the Germans. There. Now, any square they're seeing, you can see them.
Okay. So that they would see.
You're correct.
So if I move here, they could fire on me though.
Yes. So you want a square in cover, ideally.
Right.
Right. And you can see those trees
right here
up to your northwest. Yes, northwest. You could go up there where your air lieutenant is, and you'd be able to see them.
Oh,
and
right.
be in cover, like one of those two.
Right. Oh, that's that is so useful. Okay, but I can't get there, and maybe if I bolster.
You could bolster or not bring the squad with you, because you move fast.
True.
Well, that'll work. You got it. You're gonna be able to do it.
I got a brave lieutenant here. He's gonna go by himself. There we go. He's gonna move out. Yep. Only.
Now you could creep here.
So okay,
but
so
of course you're using up his command and control. You do this, and he won't command his other guys as much. So it's another choice.
But I would have to, right? Because I can't.
Well, you could just move normally, is my point, and use one order. Do you want to use a normal move, in which case you're more likely to get whacked, but you only use one order, or you could creep.
I'm gonna creep. Yeah.
Yeah, you still may be seen, but decent chance you won't. There
we go. Oh my god.
So you're down to 2 orders. Be aware, only 2 left, meaning activation area units, calling in the mortar, etc.
Okay, so I want to hit him with the mortar.
Oh, good for you. Good
and
call.
Then, all right, here we go.
There you go for it. What's wonderful about mortar fire is they don't fire back, right?
That is the one. Yep.
They don't fire back. I mean, that's perfect. Okay, they're still green. It's a weak mortar. And they're in some kind of looks like sandbags. So just don't get your expectations up too much, but this is a reasonable thing to do.
Yeah, I'm going to hit him again. Undaunted, yeah.
Now that tells you they went down to something like 8 or 9 morale. So they definitely not, that tells me also they were probably like 13 or 14 morale. Every star is a point of morale.
Okay.
Base is 10. So a green dude's 10, 1 star's 11, 2 stars 12. So these guys are pretty good, but you've beaten them up enough that they're down at probably like 8 morale now. 80% effective.
Okay, great.
70% effective.
That's pretty good. I'll take that. I think I'm going to stay to this side, actually, because then we can really concentrate and hit these and kind of go full force with the support of the mortars and stuff.
Germans had a fancy term, Schwerpunkt, which meant concentration of force. One of the reasons they were effective, right? Don't spread yourself out. You're going to do something, do it decisively.
I'm not in a rush. I just want to get units up there, so I'm just going to...
Good instinct. Remember, Winters is a calm guy, not panicking.
Okay, I'll go ahead and move him forward one more.
Used up all his orders. So
oh, that's right. Okay, yeah, that's right. And he's my captain.
That's okay. Up your captain.
That's okay. They're watching in case the Germans cross the road. We'll go with that.
If you look at the top, you can see a summary of all your leaders. You can see you used them all up, so that's just keeping it. Oh.
Corporal Steve pauses once again. Battalion calling back in. Sarge, they want the coordinates to take that crossroads. Oh my gosh. I'm going to just say we'll observe German movements. Your smaller squads can't contribute much firepower, but they can watch the Germans and give callouts so that the rest of the company will know exactly which building the Germans are hiding in.
So now you spotted 3 more guys. Before you didn't see them there. Or they were, those little gray shadows. Now you know what you're facing. Ooh, it looks like quite a few machine guns, which sucks. That's bad. Wow, that's a nasty defense.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I'm almost thinking that we have to, just set up a front line here.
But remember, your primary goal is to get that artillery out, it sounds like, right? So don't get too sucked into a cool fight when that might not be the point.
That's right. All right, so we got this squad here just kind of surrounded. Thankfully, we suppressed this unit, which is going to help. But I almost feel like we got to hurry up and find this artillery and then cut back to save this unit. So I'm going to go ahead and just move these guys. I'm going to bolster.
Of course it's bad. They sent us.
And I'm going to move. It's roughly somewhere in here. I don't think it's over here. So I'm going to go for this X right here. Uh-oh. Go ahead.
Oh my! You found him.
There it is.
Oh, dude, well done.
And
you surprised him.
okay.
Well done. Makes me think of Winters.
Okay, move up. Let's go, guys! Hustle! Move it! Move it!
Come on, let's go. Move it up. Move it up. Move it. Will, move it. Come on. Come on, let's go.
Gray figures scatter as your men rush into the trees. One breathless run later, you follow. Stacks of ammo lie nearby, and there's a round in the breach. A solitary foe lies fallen where sandbags have spilled. All right, Private Lambert tears himself away from staring at the fallen foe and pats his demolition satchel lightly. Do we blow the barrel? He's clearly eager to get rid of that TNT. Let's see, improvise some great. I say blow the barrel. Yeah, let's do it. Private Lambert shoves the TNT down the throat of the artillery piece, then shoves a German stick grenade down afterwards. Nice long fuse, he explains after he pulls the detonation string and runs like hell. I like that little detail. That's nice. The explosion is a sharp one, accentuated by the crack of steel. The artillery piece is not a museum piece. Yeah, artillery destroyed. All right.
No heroes,
Well done.
no stragglers.
All right. Well, I think this is a good stopping point. I know we're well over an hour.
Oh, come on, Apollo. I know what's going on here. Let's call him on this. What's really going on is he sees how much German resistance he's got here. And he's running.
That's honestly
Easy win with the artillery.
that's half true. But that I will say, and for those of you watching, you might look at this because it is very different. There's a bit of a learning curve, but I will, after putting in, you know, a good solid hour of moving troops and looking at the mechanics, it starts to feel like second nature. But I really enjoyed this a lot. For those who want to learn more about the game, where can they go?
So the game itself, Burden of Command, it's on Steam. There are videos there. We also have a YouTube channel with like 120 videos that like how historical is it, how tactically accurate, also, you know, how do the mechanics work, on and on and on. And then the particular thing you're seeing here is the new DLC, Three Nations DLC, because, well, actually it's really sort of 4 factions. You play 4 different groups. This is the easiest scenario, though I have to say, it's starting to look pretty brutal here, honestly. You're hoping they're going to order you withdraw here, but there's one where, as I mentioned, you learn to lead a German mechanized assault. We actually got a pre-approval from the German approval board. They're very rightly cautious about allowing players to play Germans and then have that in Germany. But they've been very happy with how careful we are about the history. So we're not going to be like rah-rah Nazis in that one. It'd be more, oh my God, another pointless attack against Allied naval and air superiority. We got that. You play some pretty hardcore British paratroopers. You can see you're playing the U.S. paratroopers. The other ones are quite historically based. This is a little more in the spirit of what happened, but made to fit John Hansel's video. So, summary. Base game, Burden of Command, 70-hour game. You play from beaches of Normandy. Sorry, beaches of Normandy. Beaches of Morocco, which few games cover, all the way through to Hitler's Eagle Nest, because the real Cottonbalers did get there. Awesome. In fact, can't resist. Got there before the 101st, according to our advising military historian, John McManus. You can play that. You can get this DLC, which allows you to play with some other forces. But this is basically a battle pack, whereas the other one's the full RPG experience. You know, lead your men, feel the burden of command, not one-off fights.
Well, we could probably go on forever, but thank you, everyone, and we'll see you next time.
All right. Thanks, everyone.